Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of Mountain Blade Bannerlord. Today we're going to be doing another guide. It's going to be based on and around how to get the elite troops for each faction, how they work, what are they, and most importantly, how and where do you get them? Because I'm sure everyone's had the same problem. You've roamed and roamed around the map, and for some factions they're really easy to find. You can find them in any village and sometimes even in the towns. But for certain other factions, especially like the Empire included, they're just really, really difficult to find. So we're just going to walk through what you need to look for in order to actually find them and acquire them for your party. It's not too difficult, it is fairly simple, but they are just genuinely quite hard to get. You're not doing anything wrong, they are just rare troops to find. Especially with the Empire. I think because the Empire is so broad, they're much more rare to find. But I've gone ahead and I found a village here with the perfect basically aspects that you need to get them. So if we just pop in here, and the first thing we want to look at, so this is what you want to do, and this is how I've found them pretty quickly. I've only been looking for, only looked at a couple of villages. So the first thing you want to look at is these guys up at the top here. Now ideally what you want to find is someone who is powerful and a landowner. The higher their power, the more chances you have of actually getting those elite troops. So the higher his power level is, the more likely I will get noble and rare troops from him. You can, on a rare occasion, you can get them from influential power levels, but they have to be probably about 180 to 200. And that is only if you have a good relationship with them, because they'll usually be right at the end, grayed out otherwise. So if you have a good relationship with that person, then you can get good troops from them. If not, you will only be able to get standard recruits. The power levels also apply to the actual quality of the regular troops as well. So you're more likely to get not just recruits, but swordsmen and bowmen from higher power level village owners and nobles. So if we go ahead and pop into recruit troops here, this is our powerful guy, the landowner here, and as you can see, we've got some recruits. Okay, so somebody might have come along recently and bought a whole bunch. That's probably why there's lots of recruits here. But the first thing you notice is these aren't the recruits, they're Vigler recruits. And an equite there. Missing a slot, like I said, somebody's most likely come by here recently and bought off a lot of recruits from him. But because he's powerful and a landowner, then he has these 3 elite troops. Had we got here earlier, there might have been a whole lot there. So if we waited around this village for a couple of days, that could refill and you could get loads more elite units in. But yeah, we can't recruit any of those, unfortunately, because we don't have a good enough relationship with this guy, and obviously someone's come along and taken the low relationship level ones. That's why it's always good to try and do any quests and build up your relationships with as many villages as you can. You don't have to just do quests to do this, you can go and take hideouts out around the village. Obviously the harder one is to protect the village from somebody, but if you're allied with the faction of the units you want, then that's easier said than, it's easier to do than you think. If somebody's come near it and you attack them, yeah, the village will be happy about it. Yeah, so we can't get those, we need to improve our relationship with them. But that is essentially it, guys. You've just got to go around as many villages as you can and find the powerful landowners or headhunters. I don't know if we've got any headmen, sorry. As you can see, he's 160 influential, which gives him some very low quality but upgraded troops here at the end, but no Viglers or Equites. I think this guy is slightly lower, and the same said for him. So neither of these have any of the elite troops because they're both influential. If they were about 180 to maybe 190, they would usually have Equites or Viglers right here at the end. So if you have a good relationship with them, then you can get your elite troops that way as well. But ultimately, guys, that is how you do it. You just look for those powerful landowners, powerful headmans. As long as they're powerful, the higher their power level, the more likely you'll get the recruits. But again, not every time this will happen. If you walk into a village and you think, yes, he's powerful and he's a landowner, he must have recruits, you go ahead and you look in there and all he's got is bog standard recruits. That's not your fault, you're not doing anything wrong there, it just means that somebody has very recently gone by and taken recruits from him. It's not your fault at all, it just means you got there a little bit late. But you can always bookmark that village with the notable in it. How do you bookmark it again? I think you just... where is it? You right click on it, sorry, I'm being stupid. You can right click it, you can track it, or you can add to bookmarks just by right clicking the name here. So if you know that it's got someone powerful landowner in it, you just go ahead and track it. So you know you can always come back to this place, and maybe not every single time, but more like maybe 2 out of 3 times you'll be able to get elite troops from here. just so I can show you again, I'm going to go ahead and skip and jump to another village in a different faction and just show you the same process, show you how it works once again. So we're going to go ahead and jump and do that. Be right back. Okay, welcome back, guys. Thanks for staying this long. If you have stayed this long, I should have mentioned this at the start, and I just want to mention it now before the end of the video. But villages aren't the only way that you can get elite troops. You can, if you've upgraded your leadership skill enough to the point where you can convert bandits, brigands, forest bandits, and any types like that, you can actually convert them directly into elite troops. So if your leadership skill is high enough, I think it's about level 100, you get this perk. But yeah, you can upgrade any types of looters that you take on. I think forest bandits convert into Battanian highborns. Looters, I think, might be Sturgeons or Imperials. But yeah, you can convert them directly into elite troops sometimes. So that's just another thing to bear in mind. It's probably a lot quicker way of doing it because obviously looters and that are really easy to get as prisoners. So if you've got that skill and you can convert them, it might just be worth going after with a small party, just tracking down loads of little bandit groups, taking them on and then converting them into elite troops. It doesn't work every single time, but definitely I've had it a lot of times where I'm able to convert my prisoners, looters even, and forest bandits into pretty high quality troops and elite troops for sure. So that is definitely another way to have a look at, guys. You don't have to just worry about roaming village to village. It's probably a much quicker way of doing it because obviously you can accumulate a vast amount of looters and that very, very easily. But we're just going to go ahead and jump into this village here. First thing to notice, the hearths. So they've got 765 hearths, which is a massive amount for a village. So we know instantly this is one of the best places we can go. So if we jump into here, another brilliant part, they've got 4 noblemen. And if we have a look, we've got powerful landowner, a powerful landowner, powerful landowner, and a powerful headman. So no matter what, we're going to find some elite troops here, guys. So if we jump in, go into recruit troops. Okay, initially not as good. We see a lot of recruits. However, pretty much instantly we have Vlandian Squire, all 3 there. Gallant, Squire, 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 Gallant, Gallant. None at the bottom, so I have realised that headmans definitely don't provide them as much. They give you higher quality regular troops, but it's the landowners that you want for the elite troops. Yeah, the headmans can provide them sometimes, but it's the landowners that always provide at least 1 or 2. In this case, they're powerful. They're kind of he's got really high power. That's why he's producing 4 here, especially with higher leveled gallants here. But yeah, we've got loads of them. We can recruit 1. Unfortunately, we can't recruit any more because we don't have a very good relationship with these guys. So that's another thing. Obviously, to get the elite troops, you can't just get them straight away. You could get lucky, get into a village, and they have some very early on. But it is something you need to build up relationships with to do. That's why I think getting down the looters route is probably the better way to do. You can get them from towns, but it's a lot rarer than villages. It is very, very rare, especially with the Empire. I don't think I've ever seen Imperial elite troops in a town. I have seen them in other towns in different factions for sure. I know the Khuzaits do it, and the Sturgeons I've found a couple. But for the Empire, definitely I've never seen any. I'm sure you can. You know, it might just be me, but I've never found any Equites or Vigla troops in Imperial towns, at least. But yeah, you can definitely find them elsewhere. The Azerai elite troops are really easy to find. You can find them from most villages. Yeah, they're quite good cavalry as well. I can do another separate video just going through the quality of the elite troops and which one's best for which. Obviously, all of them are different. Like the Battanian ones, you have your archers. A lot of them are cavalry based. Obviously, Sturgeons being infantry, but we can run through that a little bit better if you want in another video. But essentially, guys, that is it. That is the guide to how you get elite troops. Just look for those little factors. Either try and do it with the looters and that, but you obviously will have to upgrade your leadership. And the quickest way to upgrade your leadership is by forming and hosting an army. So obviously that's again quite late game to do. They're all quite late game, but once you start unlocking those elite troops, they will hold up their end. And they do a lot more damage. They are a lot better troops. They're definitely worth going out your way and getting, but they're not something that you can acquire straight away. You have to build up those relationships first. So ideally, find a village like this one here. It might be the same in your world. They're not always the same. Sometimes they change, but yeah, make sure you track them, bookmark them, and whenever they've got a quest available or if there's a hideout nearby, just always try and get that. Try and constantly build up your relationship with those nobles in that village. It's a lot easier if you own the village as well. Much easier to build up the relations with the people in it. But yeah, that is it, guys. That is essentially how you do it, how you get them. There's usually just one elite troop per faction, so don't try and look for as many as you can. There is usually just the one. And yeah, that's it, guys. I hope this has helped. I really do. If you've got any more questions, suggestions, tips, or anything like that, just get at me. Get down in the comments. Make sure you ask away and tell me. If you like the video, please leave a like on it. And make sure you subscribe and hit the notification button so you can keep up to date with everything that's going to be coming out. I'm going to be doing loads more guides, and also check out the main playlist I've got going. So I answer a lot of questions in there as I'm going as well. But yeah, if there's anything specifically you want to see, please let me know and I'll get that done. I really hope this has helped, guys. I hope this clears it up anymore. If you've got any more questions about this, please let me know and I'll answer you in the comments straight away as soon as I see it. But otherwise, guys, I really appreciate you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed it. I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.